Hello everyone, welcome to my video presentation. My name is Xiaowei Hu, and this is my student number. So today I want to give a presentation of my topic. So let's first introduce my topic. My topic is simulation of a multi-layer soil, well, multiple dams and preloading in the laboratory. So firstly, before the presentation, I want to give a preview of my whole presentation. In this presentation, I divided into 4 parts. The first part is introduction, the second part is literature review, and the third is research design, and the last, I got a conclusion. So let's move on to the first part. But firstly, you can see from the picture, this picture is taken from the Gold Coast, and this picture is the hotel from the Dubai. And as you know, when we build the high buildings near the coast or near the soft ground, we engineers need to store one question. Because the soft soil, we can't build too much high buildings in the soft ground because the pressure is not enough. So we need to improve the soil ground. Is that right? Okay. So in order to improve the soil ground, nowadays we have some technique to solve this problem. But nowadays the famous and the popular method is use the vertical dams and the preloading. So let me introduce the vertical dams and the preloading. As you know, this is the vertical dams. This is the vertical dams. Actually, vertical dams contains 3 different types. The first type is the prefabric vertical dams and the electric vertical dams. And as about preloading, we have 3 different types: vacuum preloading, surcharge preloading, and heat preloading. Right now it's very famous, used in the engineering project. Another thing I want to introduce is about in the real situation of the soil. It's different from the laboratory. Maybe in the laboratory we just simulate 2 or 3, or almost 3 layer in the soil. But in the nature, it's so different. It's complex and it's predicated. It's so complex. So simulation of a multi-layer vertical dams is more approach to real situation of the soft ground. So the purpose of my study was to predict the multi-layer multiple dams and preloading in the laboratory. Okay, let's move on to the next part, literature review. In the literature review, I have showed three parts in the literature review. The first part is introduce the simulation of a laboratory, and then I want to introduce the vertical dams and the preloadings clearly. And then next is about multi-layer soil. Okay, so let's introduce the first part. As you can see from the picture, this is a uni student. You can ignore this. Also, I want you focus is on this container. Is the simulation of the nature ground soil to simulate in the laboratory. Simulation in the laboratory for the ground soil with prefabric vertical dams and preloading is a useful measurement to improve the soil. In this part, 2 things I want to, for the simulation, want to mention in the laboratory is that the first thing is about simulation in the laboratory is reflect the real situation of the soft grounds more closely. And another question is about the advantage of simulate in the laboratory is about it can shorten the time for the real project. For example, in your project, the project maybe takes for 3 years, but you can done this in a short time. You can finish the whole project and simulate it just for 2 months. So it's very efficiently. So let's move on to the next part. Is introduced about vertical dams and preloading. As I introduced that before, this is the lots of the vertical dams are used near the river. You know, the companies want to build tall buildings near the river, but you know the soil is so soft. It can't support the tall buildings. So we need to improve the ground. So how can we improve it? We use the vertical dams and preloading the top technology. So you can see this machine. I use the vertical dams here and then improve the ground. Okay, so let's take the next part. It's about multi-layer soil. Multi-layer soil is very easy to understand. You can see from the picture, the layer are very different. From the beginning is the glass, and then the soil, and then the rock. It's different and complex from one place to another place. So it's very hard to simulate in the laboratory with 4 or more than 4 multi-layers. So how to solve this problem? Okay, so this is my topic. The multi-layer. So do we have a possible method to propose to simulate the more than 4 or more than 5 multi-layer to log vertical dams and preloading in the laboratory? Okay, this is my topic. Okay, next part. Before we solve this problem or our topic, our research design. In my research design, I concluded 5 parts. The first part is research ideas. The second part is research design, and then we connecting data and analyzing data and the publication process. As we talked about it before, the first part is research design and the topic and the hypothesis. As I want to mention is about the hypothesis. In this topic is about can multi-layer vertical dams, vertical dams and preloading simulated in the laboratory. Then we got the research design. We use a big container and simulate the real natural resources, real natural situation, or like to simulate similar closely. And then we connecting data. We put out some vertical dams and use the preloading pressure as connecting the data, and then we analysis data, use some softwares. For example, we use the numerical analysis method. We use the fitness element method. For example, we use the Abcus, the software, solve this question as well. And then we can publication the process. Yeah, and writing the papers. 2 things I want to mention is about the limitation. In this part, we got 2 limitations. The first limitation is about it is impossible the same to build the multi-layer soft soil in the laboratory compared with the situation in the natural situation, because the natural situation is more complex. But in the laboratory, we can get close. We can just get close, not to very close it. And the second limitation is about the software I want to talk about. As for we use the Abcus in this topic to solve our problem. One thing I want to know, the Abcus also have some limitation because he can't solve the questions. For example, the explosion very well. Maybe we can use another software to solve this problem. So in this topic is also a limitation. So this is my whole presentation. Thank you for my attendance. Thank you.